Welcome everyone to the live webinar introducing B2B Commerce Cloud for new Salesforce admins. We're very happy to have you here. A big thank you to our host from saasguru for arranging this class for all of us today. I'm very happy to be here. More about saasguru. First, for those of you who are not familiar with saasguru, they're indispensable for your Salesforce certification prep. You'll find certification classes on their platform. I really love their dashboard that offers a tailored view of your progress, telling you when you're actually ready to pass the exam. For me, that takes away the guesswork and the anxiety out of that. So I love this feature. It helps you feel confident and save money on failed exams, which is something we all love. saasguru is essentially the bridge between your trailhead efforts and your Salesforce certificates. There are 5 pillars: benchmarking, personalizing, revising, practicing, and mentoring you, support you every step of the journey to ensure that you're ready to pass your exam on your first try. And for me, the most important one of these is mentorship that is exclusively available to you when you join the saasguru platform. So if you're not part of the community yet, make sure you join the Slack and LinkedIn communities. I see we have the links in the chat. The value provided by all the gurus and all the people that are in there are immense. In the community, you can find certification vouchers. I just saw a very good voucher for like 70% off for your exam. Great tips, other upcoming classes, updates about information that's relevant to you, and live help from gurus like me. So make sure you join saasguru today. And if you stay until the end, we have a small gift waiting for you. So join us, stay until the end, and you see what it is. Okay. Now, this is what we're going to cover today. More in details about that later. But we're going to cover 4 sections. I'm going to do a short intro to B2B Commerce. What is B2B Commerce? Why do we need to learn about it? Then we're going to talk about how it lives on the Salesforce platform and within it. Then we're going to show you some B2B store administration. And we're going to wrap up with some recommended next training, certifications, and things that you can do to show your understanding and expertise on the topic. Okay, hope that sounds good. Now, who am I and why am I here in front of you? My name is Diana. I'm a Salesforce enablement consultant. In my daily job, I ensure that Salesforce users make the most out of their system and know how to perform their tasks. We create custom training for customers for every Salesforce cloud. I'm also proud to be an all-star ranger on Trailhead. I worked for that for 3 years, to be honest, and I'm very proud of that. I hold 9 Salesforce certifications also, and you can follow my journey on Trailhead or LinkedIn. You have my links there, or you can just add me on Slack and I'll share those with you. And the most important part, what gives me the right to talk to you about B2B Commerce today? Well, I'm also additionally a Salesforce certified instructor, responsible for delivering some of the B2B Commerce classes for administrators and merchandisers. So that was one of the things that sparked my interest in B2B Commerce and makes me passionate about sharing the values with you. So this is who I am. I'll meet you in the Slack community afterwards. Now, next thing we need to do is we need to clarify who is this class for or not for. So who's going to get the most value out of this class? The class is for Salesforce admins, new admins. Maybe you just got certified, you're searching for the next step after the administrator exam. Maybe you're a little bit experienced. You have some experience, but you're new to B2B Commerce Cloud. So you've never seen B2B Commerce, you don't know how to manage it, or you're looking forward to interviewing in a company that is using B2B Commerce. So you want to be a little bit aware of that. The class is not for you if you're very experienced, B2B Commerce administrator or merchandiser or developer. So you have a lot of experience, you know a lot of things. It's possible that you will be able to teach me some things because I'm not a developer for sure. So maybe that will not be the class for you. Good. Hopefully you all get some value for it. I'll do my best to ensure you do. Now, here are my goals for you by the end of this class. By the end of this class, you should be able to explain and understand how B2B commerce is built on top of the Salesforce platform, how it works within it, how it's integrated with the other elements and some other clouds. Next, you'll be able to create your own B2B store. We're going to do a demo about that and set it up afterwards. So I'm going to provide you with some resources if you're interested, but if the Commerce app is enabled in your org, you'll be able to create your store and set it up. And finally, you'll be able to explain the functionality available to merchandisers. So what are we as admins responsible for, and what are the merchandisers? This is a specific role of people who work with B2B commerce. What do they do? What is available to them? Okay, so this is my plan for this webinar. Makes sense? Now, more details about the session. And this is more like a cheat sheet of everything that I plan for us to cover. We just did the introduction to the introduction. Next, we're going to do a short demo of a B2B Commerce Cloud site. Functionality, capabilities, we're going to navigate around it. It's a recorded demo. I'm going to narrate it for you. Then we're going to talk again how B2B is built on top of the Salesforce platform. And I'm going to repeat this over and over and over again. Then we're going to do a very short demo of creating your B2B store because it's very fast and very easy. This is the easiest part. You'll be able to watch the recording, you can do that in your own time after the class. So I hope you find this interesting. Then we're going to talk about the main settings that you'll be controlling. So from setup, from the Commerce app, from experience builder, everything that's related to it. We're going to talk about all the merchandising functionality and then practice exercises from me, some recommended resources and credentials. Okay, that is the plan. Good. Next, what is B2B Commerce Cloud, right? So just been talking about B2B, B2B, B2B. So B2B is business to business, and B2B Commerce Cloud serves this business to business needs of a company that sells wholesale or to a reseller. So imagine if you want to go to Starbucks and get coffee, you can, of course, go order online from the app. For example, not available in my country, but still a good example. You can order from the app as a customer, order a Frappuccino or something, go and pick it up, right? This is the B2C platform. A B2B for Starbucks would be reselling to the franchise locations, the coffee, the cups, everything, every single thing that they need to purchase. So you can imagine buying in bulk, right? Just remember every time we talk about B2B Commerce Cloud and about the implementations, it's about these distinct differences. Okay, now, Salesforce defines B2B Commerce Cloud as the industry-leading solution for transforming shopping experiences across digital channels. And it is. Just look at the time to market, time to launch. It's as little as 4 to 6 weeks, right? And this should already be triggering your higher interest. How do we do this? How do we launch an e-commerce solution, e-commerce site for the business in such a short time? Well, the answer is we do this with the power of the Salesforce platform and Customer 360, of course. But we'll talk more about that a bit later, I promise. Now, what are the main differences between B2B and B2C commerce? First, we serve different users, companies versus people. Companies whom we know the requirements and their needs, they're clearer to us. They have discussed and negotiated with us what they want to receive, what they want to achieve. We have an agreed on pricing. Compare that to the B2C, where the end user is usually anonymous to you. They are anonymous. You don't know what they're looking for. They might have just arrived here by accident, right? So there are a lot of different options for B2C. We don't know who the users are. Second thing, the scale. The scale is very different in B2B commerce. you see lower number of visits, and compare that to the B2C Black Friday madness and the amount of processing power and servers that you need for the scale that happens during that period. And something else, the number of products per order is no longer 1, 3, 5, or 10, but it can be in the hundreds. The other thing is, like, remember, your customers, resellers, wholesalers, big companies. So they would come and they would reorder the same thing again and again, just because that's what they need. So let's say for a reseller or a wholesaler, they'll come, they would order the same thing every month. So you need to facilitate that they just reorder the same quantities, the same product. And finally, payment methods also differ between B2B and B2C commerce. And this is important because part of the integrations would be your card, how it's configured, what are the payment processors, and you need to understand the differences. So with B2C commerce, customers expect to pay with credit card, PayPal, Apple Pay, Google Pay. The most common one to pay with B2B is by purchase orders. So they have this agreement with the customer, they send the purchase order, and they're allowed to buy the quantity requested. How the payment goes through, it goes through the invoicing, the financial revenue stuff, people, they take care of that. Sorry. So these are the main differences: users, scale, and payment. Like, if you just remember these three, you're fine. Why learn B2B Commerce Cloud? According to me, first, it's readily accessible for you. It can help you also stand out from the crowd. So these are two things. It's easy to access it. It's easy to set up and practice. And then it's something that is not so popular among many people. So first thing, you can activate it in every Trailhead trial org or developer org. Having said that, don't go running to create a trial org right now and follow me during the training. We're not covering the basic introductory configurations in this class. Reach out to me after the training on Slack. I'll share the details, like the links on how to do the initial configurations for Commerce Cloud in your trial org, so that then you can do this practice on your own. Now, second reason to learn B2B commerce, the market is constantly growing, and the chances of you working in a commerce-enabled org are never zero. They're standard. People are getting more and more interested in them. Companies are getting more and more interested to them. I've worked on some very big projects, and they do have B2B commerce working. So it's a good skill to have. And on top of that, it also helps you expand your Salesforce skills as you practice working with flows, Salesforce CMS, Experience Cloud. So it's integrated with the platform, and it gives you opportunities to see and work with different elements of it and make you better in that. And like, if it's not clear yet to me, B2B commerce is just a great add-on to your skill set that allows you to grow those skills in other areas too. So I hope you figure this out too on your own. Next, we're going to move to a demo. We're going to do a demo where I'm going to take you through a B2B commerce store and show you the different features and functionality that are available. I find this to be my favorite demo to share. So bear with me for a second. Let's find our demo. Okay, here we are in our saasguru wholesale coffee store. Why coffee? Because these are the demo information, the details that are uploaded if you want to just test B2B commerce. So here we're looking at our B2B commerce store. You can see the navigation. On top, we have the logo, a search bar, and a login button. So this is what you see as a guest user who hasn't logged in yet. Okay, this is the login page that's not customized. Let's see what products we can find. Here I want to point out, if you're not don't have the right permissions to access the product, it's hidden from you. This is something that I find very interesting and very valuable for B2B. Next, you can see we have field level navigation. Okay, I've got this demo shorter here. Now, next thing we're going to see is we're going to see when we're logged in as a buyer. Let me just make this bigger. Okay, I think this should be better. When we're logged in as someone that has access to everything. Here you see my name, saasguru is the company. You can find your notifications and the cart. If you scroll down the side, you'll find additional tiles, like tile menu, your list of favorite items. You can also see a list of your recent orders if you ordered something. Here, the navigation shows you all the products that are available to you. You have filters to search for the results. For example, here for size, things that reflect the size. Here is a product that didn't have a price, it had options. You can choose a variation of this product. So you only show one product in the search, but it has multiple variations. The price will change. Look at this price. The sizing will change. With it, the pictures change for each product. The description will change. So this is a very common functionality, very used functionality when you're selling 5, 10, or 50 of the same thing. Now let's go to the other category. We're going to see another different functionality with this coffee machine. Here we have tiered pricing. So bulk discounts. You can show what are the discounts per quantity. Let's test discount. When you change the quantity to 10, the price automatically gets updated. Immediately, when you change it to the other quantity, it changes back. You can also attach files like PDF, manuals, instructions, things like this. There are multiple different things that you can do. You can also click to add to cart, add to list, let's say list of favorites. Now we're going to look at our cart. You have options to sort. Here are your products. You can sort from different places. You can add a coupon code. I'm going to pause for a second to walk you through the cart. In the cart, we see the original price and the customer price, which is something that you can do with B2B Commerce because most of your customers have their own custom negotiated pricing. In addition to that, we can have coupon codes to apply discounts, or we can have automated promotions that the moment that your cart total hits 1,000 or the moment that you buy 15 of this product, you get extra discount of something. So there are a lot of different promotion options, which are very cool. I love them. Then here in the cart totals, you can see the original value of the items you purchased, the subtotal, which is your custom pricing, the promotion that has applied the discount, and your new final total. And then you can proceed to the checkout to complete your order. Now, let's go and see the user navigation menu. You see there are a lot of different things you can make visible to the customer. They can log out. Their profile is something that they can update. It's connected to their contact record on Salesforce. Their settings are something that's also connected to the account. You can change languages. You can have multiple languages, locales. They can change their own time zone. One thing I want to show you, the customer is not able to change their currency. Okay, I want to ensure that I've noted that. You can change your language, the locale, which means the date order, date format, things like this, and time zone. Okay, just finalize this. You can check or uncheck some email notifications, save your settings, and I think that's it for the main demo for navigating the storefront. Yep. Hope it was valuable. Let me know in the chat if this was the first time that you've seen a B2B commerce store live in action. Yes, thank you. Yes, it is very cool. It has a lot of functionality that are built to facilitate exactly what a B2B customer needs. And you need to be logged in to get all the correct pricing and all the correct details. Okay, now, the main topic, the most important thing, B2B Commerce Cloud and Salesforce platform. Okay, now, I want you to remember, and I've said it 15 times, I will say it again and again, that the B2B Commerce Cloud for Lightning is built on top of the Salesforce platform. For Lightning, because for Classic, it was a managed package. So the original B2B Commerce Cloud was a product called CloudCraze that Salesforce acquired. It was a managed package that you had to install, and it installed a major count of custom objects. Okay, and it was a bit of a nightmare at one point for managing. Still good product. I still enjoyed it a lot, but this one is now built organically on top of Salesforce. So what does that mean? It uses 100% standard objects. Some of them are hidden before you activate commerce in your org. So you find them as soon as you activate the commerce app. We'll see that in a second too. So everything that you're used to doing with standard objects in Salesforce metadata, custom fields, field restrictions, all of this is still there. Profiles, user, logins, still there. It uses flow and process builders to customize and manage some of the experiences, checkout, checking your taxes, checking inventory. A lot of these things are built on top of Flow and Apex. So we also use standard Apex. So if you can write Apex classes and code, well done. This is something that's very valuable here. It uses the Salesforce APIs, so you can connect it with a lot of different things. And it's a major part of Customer 360. So for Customer 360, the most valuable things to remember is we have the customer information already in Salesforce. We have the marketing information, we have analytics, we have their sales, their service experiences, and now we have commerce. We have B2B commerce, we have B2C commerce, and they all are connected to that same customer. So now in that account or contact record, and in the account record for B2B, you can see that this company has purchased this amount of these products and they keep repurchasing these products. They have everything that's specific to them built within their profile, within their account record. So that's the platform part, right? It's built on top of everything, so you can use all of the functionalities that are available to you. The second thing I want to stress is Experience Cloud. So B2B Commerce, what you're seeing is the site built on top of Experience Cloud, utilizing Experience Cloud licensing, the Experience Builder to customize. So if you've previously seen a portal built with Community Cloud, now renamed Experience Cloud, this is how it looks like. It's just a drag and drop functionality using clicks, not code, to manage how things look to different people, to different customers, different accounts or locations. So with Experience Cloud, we use sites that are hosting the storefront, Experience Builder, how it looks, and the licensing. So for B2B commerce, there are two types of licenses that a company has to pay. One is a license to use B2B commerce, and the second is a user license to access the storefront. So this is all tied up to Experience Cloud. We'll talk more about it in a second. Now, I told you like the standard objects of this. Now, how does this look? I recommend when you enable commerce in your app, in your org, to go and open the schema builder. B2B commerce uses a lot of standard objects. Some will be like brought up to you to see like store catalog, things like this. Some of them are just standard objects, the other are junction objects. So they ensure that you can do a many-to-many relationship between a product and multiple stores, between an account, so your customer, they can access multiple stores. So you'll be seeing and managing sometimes a lot of junction objects. We'll see that, play around with it. I recommend that a lot. A lot of times they're hidden But for example, let's look to the right. We have a buyer group, which is basically what connects an account to what do they have access to? Do they have access to specific store, specific pricing, anything? And then here we have a price book, right? So how does the buyer group, so the group of customers, get access to this specific price book? Through a buyer group price book junction object. You see a lot of these when you start managing, especially in the merchandising management, which maybe you'll be responsible to doing in your org, most probably not, but you need to practice a little bit with it. There will be a lot of junction objects to manage, work, and understand how they're connected. For now, important thing is open up the schema builder, find everything that's store catalog, category, price book entries, entitlements. You understand it, you'll find that it makes sense. Just looking at it like this gives you a lot of information and details about how things work, how they're connected. Okay, that's my thing here. Next, Experience Cloud. Now, B2B Commerce utilizes Experience Cloud a lot, right? It manages two main things: how it looks to the customer, to the end user, and how it works in the background. So Experience Cloud kind of manages most of the front end, let's go like this, and a lot of the back end. Now, what do I mean when I say how it looks? Experience sites manage your domain routing. So the domain that the customer will use and see depends on the site that you host. How do we host it? With Experience Cloud, we create a site. That site has a custom domain, and on that domain, you can have multiple storefronts, right? So you can have, let's say, petstore.com, and you can have petstore.com/dogs/cats/bunnies, anything. So you can have multiple different storefronts for your multiple different brands on that same domain. This is what Experience Cloud manages. It also manages the look of the login page. Now, we've seen in the demo at the beginning that it was not a customized login page. It was showing like the Salesforce logo. So this is what we mean. One site, so let's say petstore.com, all of the other storefronts that are on that site will use the same login. Okay, so they will use exactly the same login page. It's not customizable. If you want to have multiple login pages, you need to use multiple different sites and domains. And on the topic of sites, you can have 100 sites per org, active or inactive. So that's also something to consider. Okay, it also manages member emails, the email that a customer receives when they sign up, when they want to do password reset, or anything that's like has to be managed. This is sent with the same branding from the same email with the same person. This is managed through the Experience Cloud setting. The other thing is the theme and the template is controlled from Experience Cloud. So we'll see when we start creating the store. What is the theme? How does the site look? Do we use a B2C team? Do we use a B2B team? These things are controlled by Experience Cloud, and the theme, so the different colors and things are controlled through Experience Builder. When I say teams, it means that depending on where a user logs in from or what is their company name, they can have their own logo, or you can have like golden, silver, platinum tier that's visible in the header. You can change a lot of things and make them custom, which is very cool. And finally, the guest user experience. A guest user will only see one thing. They will not be able to see these different logos, the custom details that are specific to their company. Hence, it will all be the same, and it's part of how it looks. How it works is the second thing. You can, so Experience Cloud, through the user licenses that are for logging in, every person that has to access the store needs to have a community license. It can be per login or it can be per person. They get access to what they need to get access to. So the functionality, the stores, which experiences are available to them. You have to enable them as the user and then give access to different users to different experiences. It could be from their profile, permission sets, different things. And also functionality, depending on if they need to be able to access reports, opportunities, let's say the reseller, think about car resellers, you want to go and buy a Toyota, they need to track you as a lead, keep track of how much they've sold, what type of deals they've made. So leads, opportunities, reports. If you want to expose that, you need a more expensive license, not a basic license. So these are the things that Experience Cloud controls. You can have multiple user licenses for the same store, so you don't need to have everyone gets the top tier. You can mix and match whatever is needed. And also, when, for example, I as a contact that's part of an account get access to the B2B store. So when I get access to that store, I get assigned a user, a community license. This license I can use for multiple stores and sites. So if you want to give someone access to 5 stores, you don't need 5 licenses. So this is very good that you can do. There will always be one license that you need to pay for a guest user experience. You can allow guest user navigation, you can allow guest user purchasing. It defeats the purpose of B2B and customization, but still you can allow it. Okay, now let me move forward to my next demo, which will be a very exciting and very short, creating a B2B store in your Salesforce org. So we're in the Commerce app. We'll go to our org in a bit. We're going to navigate to stores. Click that Create a Store button. Then here you have the option to choose between a B2B Commerce store or a B2C Commerce store. Now you only have the option to create one of these because we're starting from the Commerce app. If you go to create an experience, you'll be offered to select from multiple other templates. Just remember that. Here we're going to select the B2B Commerce. Here you see information about the templates, pages, how it looks on mobile. Very well. You're just going to give your store a name. Here you see the URL for your experience, because I have only one site in my experience. And then it starts creating it. And the site will be created in literally 3 minutes or something like this. And once it's done, you can start customizing it. There we have it. It's finished. It opens up in our Commerce app. Let me just pause here. It opens up in our Commerce app in the administration section for this specific store that we just created. Okay, so it's very easy. So I want to show you here to the right. We're going to talk about this style menu in a bit. Here to the right, you want to get started faster. You can add the simple data. This is what you do if you want to practice. This is what I did for the demos. I did some configurations too, but this is where you'll find all the administration, some suggested things that you need to do, like steps to ensure that your store works. And you can even change the owner so that someone else is responsible for managing it from then on. So suggested thing is someone reaches out, hey, we need a new store on this experience site, on this domain. This is the URL. Please create it to take care of it. That's how you do it. So you see, it's very easy to create your first store. Now, of course, to get to this customized version, we need to do some work. And we're going to see how we do that. It is exciting, yes. So the important part, what do you do to manage a B2B store as an administrator? All right, so what do we do? First things first, administrators versus developers. Right? What do we do as admins and what do developers do to make it easier for us? We do some things in the setup, and I've made sure these slides are as detailed as possible so that you can remember, like, this is your go-to when you're wondering what was I responsible to. So it means that first you have to ensure that your org is ready. for the activation and configuration of Commerce Cloud. So we're going to go see how to activate commerce, digital experiences, which is from Experience Cloud, updates on org-wide default sharing settings to ensure that the correct objects are visible to the customers, those external sharing settings. Permission sets will be created and installed automatically. You can manage them, configure them, update them, ensure you have the licenses, ensure that the Salesforce CMS is configured correctly. And these are the things that you can do from the setup. The other thing that you'll be managing is from the Commerce app, where you do the main configuration per store. Every store has its own commerce setup. You go there, you manage things independently. They're not connected. From there, you ensure that the store is ready to be activated. Everything is there, up and running. Activating it means it's available to the audience to start purchasing. So that's the final thing after the merchandiser has updated everything else, meaning the search index has been updated. Merchandising means adding the products, adding the pricing, connecting them to the correct customers and to the correct stores and categories, so ensuring that everything is where it has to be. And you also are responsible for ensuring the integrations are connected. And in Experience Cloud, you'll manage the visual aspects of your storefront, as well as access and like these login pages, who gets to access it, what is the branding of the emails that they receive. Okay, the developers though are responsible for creating the integrations for inventory management, tax management, shipping, payment gateways. Okay, you're responsible to ensure that they're connected, meaning checking if they have connected them correctly. They're responsible for creating them and connecting them, which is perfect, love it. They're also responsible for customizing the checkout flows for each store. Like you would need a different checkout flow and a new store, depending on your regional needs, your integration needs. Let's say in this country, you have these taxes, in that country, we need to use these tax calculations. Shipping is specific. So you might need to have like a US site, a European site, APAC site, different sites that cater to different regions. Developers will need to connect these integrations to the checkout flows and everything, do their magic, right? If there is a custom template that's needed, so you don't like the B2B template, you don't like the B2C template, they want to build their own custom one, they develop it first, it's imported, and then you can create the store using that template, but they are responsible for creating it. And then a customization component, like a component that you put on the website, on the storefront, through the experience builder, built with the Lightning Web Components and Aura. They have to build it, you just have to place it in the correct place and do the settings. Okay, so these are the main things. Things to the right, we don't touch. Things to the left is what we as admins are responsible for. Good. Next, we're going to do some demos in the org. I'm going to try to be quick, but also cover everything. In setup, you need to first enable Commerce Cloud in your org. You can find your store configurations via change sets. So someone has built a store, it shared it with you, especially when you're working in a developer's org in a sandbox and you want to move it to the production org. You take the store configurations, you move it to the production, and then you finalize things. And also this is where you can see all the stores that you have and their status. So if you're not the owner, like just see what's created, what's active, what's not. We'll see that in a second. Actually, let's go and see that right now as we're talking. Here you see, and the setup, we search for commerce. This is what we see. Here I have it, commerce. I've already searched for it to make it faster. Once you enable commerce, you cannot disable it. Okay, so your first job would be when you create a trial work to come and enable commerce. These are the settings. In store configurations, you'll find things that are imported through change sets. And in stores, you see all the stores that we have, their store status, is it active? So it's available to the customers, name, again, status, and the URL that you can use to access this site. So for example, if I open this one, it's not active, it's in preview, I need to log in to see anything that's in there. So this is what we see for the commerce setup. Digital experiences is where you create a sign, define the domain, manage the DXP or quite settings, find themes and templates. So let's just see digital experiences. Here you find all of your sites. So you have all of the stores. You can have 100 published or unpublished sites. I think you can pay to get more, but don't quote me on this one. Any custom pages that are available, the settings. So here in settings, you need to update some additional details, specifically for Commerce Cloud. Here you find templates, if you have custom templates that are uploaded, and themes. Some themes that are uploaded, and you can just put it on the storefront that you want to. Of course, org-wide defaults, I'm not going to go into that. You should be very comfortable with it after your admin training. You need to make sure that the external sharing of customer-facing objects like catalog and order delivery method are set to public read-only so that the customer can see it, right? So if it's private, they won't be able to see anything on the catalog. They won't be able to see any shipping methods, and they won't be able to complete a purchase. So this is just an example. And finally, in permission sets, you see the automatically created buyer and buyer manager permission sets and customize them as needed and create additional permission sets relevant for B2B commerce. But I won't go into too much detail in here because it's a step up from the basics that we're trying to cover. So this is setup 101. Again, screenshot this if you want to. It's like a cheat sheet for afterwards. The second place that you'll be managing your store is the Commerce app. This is where we left off after we created our store in the demo. We manage each individual store separately. This is where we access relevant products, price books, and promotions for the store, where we manage our search appearance with filters, searchable fields, sort order, display settings, and initiate search indexing to ensure changes in the org are reflected in the store. One thing you need to remember, search indexing is the most important thing for new things, new products, for example, to appear in the store, new configuration, new products. If you're building stuff, if you're managing stuff, for example, if you're doing changes in the experience builder, it's not affected. If you're adding new categories, they'll also automatically be added to this, but creating new products, adding their media might require you to go initiate a new search indexing so that then the store knows what's connected. Also price books and entitlements, but more on that later. From here, you can also access the content management and the experience builder directly for this specific store. It's very easy. You just go and manage what you need to manage. And in the Commerce app, there is also a Commerce setup menu where you install some additional reports to use and customize and manage product variation configuration. Now, let me show you real quick. This is the Commerce app. This is the homepage. You have some quick links to manage things. You have all of your stores. We're going to go into our B2B demo, or just go from here to stores and select our B2B demo. From here, you have to focus on the first two: design your store, content management and experience builder, and manage your store. And here, important things for admins is import. You can import products, you can import prices, you can import a lot of things. You can also use data loader IO to import these things, very handy, very good. And the two most important things, administration and search. I'm going to go into administration first and show you your general settings like supported languages, default language, supported currencies, pricing strategies. You'll find everything that's relevant for the store configuration here, including buyer access, so configuring who has access to the store, And we talked about integrations. Here you check if the integrations are correctly configured. You go to store inventory. This one doesn't have one. Tax calculation, shipping calculation, price checks, card payment gateways, checkout flow, all of these things. So you have to ensure that everything from top to bottom is enabled, is correctly configured. You see the flow, you can directly go and update it and manage it. Commerce Einstein, very handy, makes searching and finding things very easy for your customers. And then after you've done everything, you come to the store activation, which takes you through a checklist to ensure that you're ready to set your store, make it free, active, available. So this is what you'll find in the administration tile. And the search tile that I also want to show is where you'll find search index. When you review the index, things like this is all freely available in the Salesforce help when to review the index. Searchable fields, meaning these are some standard fields that we'll search in. I have removed the description field because it just gives every single result available. If you create new custom fields for a product, you can come and add them here to make them searchable. Result filters means what will be the options for you to select from the left-hand side navigation. Like remember the size, small, large, medium that I used in the first demo. This is where I added this. You have sort rules and some result display settings. Like these will be things that you as admin will be managing. And the last thing I mentioned was commerce setup. You can access from here. You have the commerce report, and product variations are more advanced and more merchandiser things. Again, from here, we're going to access Experience Builder and Content Management, but let's get to our slides and we'll come here afterwards. Good. Experience Cloud. We have workspaces where we can access the Experience Cloud workspaces dedicated to the store, where you'll find administration, dashboard, gamification, moderation, all of these settings that are specific to this store. You can access them from Experience Builder. You can access them from Experience Cloud, wherever you feel best. If you have multiple experience on the same site, you find them here. And Experience Builder is where you use clicks to customize visually your storefront. You can add components, customize almost everything for every single element. I'm going to take you to the Experience Builder. I have a couple more slides before we finished. I think I'm slightly going over time. Sorry for that. So here's how Experience Builder looks like. If you haven't worked with it, go and do all of the trail mixes and the trails for Experience Cloud. It's magical. You can click on every single element. Here you have personalization, or you can personalize it for different customers to see different things. From here you have settings for each page that's on the store. You can access each page from here. You have list of components, as we talked, so things that you can just drag and drop somewhere in the page. And if you have custom components built for you, this is where you'll find them. Okay, I'm going to ignore all of this and come back to my slides. Just let me go. Experience Builder from here is where you can access your workspaces, which is just the additional Experience Cloud settings for your site. This is what we have. Okay. Now, next thing to discuss, what do merchandisers do? What do administrators do? Administrators, they manage the settings of the storefront. Merchandisers manage which customer get access to which stores, that have which products in their catalog, what are they entitled to see, what are they entitled to buy, and at what price. What is the pricing strategy is something that they'll tell you, meaning is it the best price, the lowest price that's available currently on the store, or is it their custom price? So the merchandisers are responsible for the following things. They manage the customers, the products, pricing, and promotions, okay? So these workspaces that are part of this store setup, At the bottom, you'll find the merchandising workspaces where they create the products, add their media, like downloadable materials, PDF, images, things like this, where they create price books and price book entries, manage customers, who of their customer get access to which sites, which products, and manage the promotions like we've seen with the coupon codes. Okay, these are the things that the merchandisers are responsible for. And I'm almost done. Thank you for your attention. Thank you for staying with me.